All right, welcome to The Explainer. So, you've got this incredible app idea, right? It's brilliant, but you're kind of staring at a blank wall, totally lost on how to actually, start building it. Well, today we are going to lay out the ultimate roadmap to take that idea from just a thought in your head to a real product out in the world.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there. That lightning bolt moment, a sudden spark for what feels like a $1 billion idea. You can practically see it on the App Store already. You see the website, the users, the whole shebang. It just feels like a home run.
But then reality hits, and the path from that amazing idea to a real thing it gets confusing fast. All of a sudden, you're drowning in this alphabet soup of jargon, right? POC, prototype, MVP. It's like, which one do I do first? What do these things even mean?
And listen, the stakes here are really, really high. Get this, a staggering 35% of startups fail. And it's not because their tech is bad or the team isn't smart. Nope. It's for a reason that's honestly kind of heartbreaking. They build something that nobody actually wants. They just fall in love with their own idea without ever checking if anyone else cares. Okay, so our goal today is to make sure that does not happen to you. This is your roadmap to avoid that exact trap. We're going to break this whole process down piece by piece so you can build something that doesn't just work, but something that people will actually love, use, and maybe even pay for. So, our journey starts with stage one, the proof of concept. And really, it all boils down to answering one simple question. Can we even build this thing? You should really think of a POC as a quick and dirty science experiment. I mean it. It's a small, probably messy, totally internal project. We're talking no fancy design, no user interface, zero bells and whistles. Its one and only job is to prove that the core tech that makes your idea special is actually possible. Okay, look at this table. The most important part here, that audience row. This is absolutely crucial. A POC is not for customers. I'll say it again, not for customers. It's just for you, your internal team, maybe a tech advisor. It's your own private reality check to make sure you aren't chasing a technical ghost.
This example just nails it. Let's say you're building a super cool AI app to identify plants. Your POC is not the whole app. No way. It might just be a simple little script that you run on your laptop that can correctly identify one single type of leaf. That's it. If it can do that, you've proven the concept. Boom, done.
And get this, a POC doesn't even have to be code. This is a classic story. Before they ever built their amazing, complex file syncing product, the Dropbox founders made a simple demo video. Just a video. It showed what the product would do. In this case, their POC was answering a slightly different question. Not can we build it, but if we do build it, will anyone even care? The response was massive, and that validated their entire business idea. All right, moving on to stage two, the prototype. So you've proven you can build it. Now the question becomes, how will it actually look and feel? The best way to think about a prototype is like a movie set, you know? It looks totally real from the front, but if you walk around back, there's nothing there. It's a visual model, often one you can click through, that gives people the feeling of using your product, but without a single line of working code behind the scenes. It's all about the illusion.
And here's the key takeaway. A prototype is all about getting feedback on the user experience, the UX and UI design. Is your app easy to use? Do people get confused? Answering these questions now with a cheap prototype instead of after you've spent thousands on development, that's just one of the smartest moves you can possibly make.
Think about the very first version of Facebook, or the Facebook as it was called. You could almost think of it as a live prototype. It was super basic and only available to Harvard students. This let them get real-time feedback on the most important interactions, like creating a profile and adding friends, before they ever thought about taking it global. Okay, stage three, the demo. You've proven it can be built, you've figured out the design. Now how do you get other people, like investors, excited about it? The question here is, how do you show the value? A demo is pure showmanship. It's theater. Its single purpose is to sell the dream. This is your polished performance, a perfectly crafted story to make an investor pull out their checkbook or to get those first crucial customers to say, heck yes, I want that. Just think about Steve Jobs on stage with the first iPhone. That wasn't just a demo. That was a masterclass in selling a vision. And here's the thing about a great demo. It's all about the story. You have to know exactly who you're talking to and what you want from them. And your script? It's not a boring list of features. No. You're selling the mission. You're selling the benefits. Honestly, at this stage, the story you tell is way more important than how much code you've actually written.
And now for the big one, stage 4, the minimum viable product, or MVP. This is the one everyone talks about because this is the moment of truth. This is when your idea finally leaves the nest and meets the real world. The big question, will they actually use it?
Okay, let's be super clear about what an MVP is. It is the absolute minimum, the simplest, most bare-bones version of your product that can still deliver some real value to a user. The goal is not to launch your perfect finished product. The goal is to launch a learning machine. You're putting something out there to test your biggest, scariest assumptions with the least amount of work.
So the focus now completely shifts. We're talking about the real market. But listen, you are not building for everyone. You are building for your early adopters. Those are the people who have the problem you're solving so badly that they'll forgive a few missing features. You just need enough of a product to solve their main problem so you can watch what they do and learn from them. This is maybe the perfect example of MVP thinking in action. Instagram didn't start as Instagram. It started as a much more complicated app called Bourbon. It had check-ins, plans, points, all this stuff. But the founders noticed one thing. People were ignoring almost everything, except for the photo sharing. They loved that part. So they made a brave choice. They threw everything else away. And that laser-focused MVP became Instagram. Incredible. So what comes next? Launching an MVP might feel like the end, but trust me, it's not the finish line. It's actually the starting gun for a whole new race. This timeline really lays it all out. You go from the POC to the prototype. Then your MVP goes out and learns from real users. That feedback helps you turn it into an MLP, a minimum lovable product. That's where you make it really nice to use. Then it becomes an MMP, a minimum marketable product, which is ready for a bigger audience. And you just keep going until you have a full solution. So if you remember one thing from all this, let it be this. Every single one of these stages is a tool to reduce risk. That's it. You start by killing the technical risk with the POC. Then you kill the design risk with the prototype. And finally, you kill the biggest one, market risk, with the MVP. It's all about that famous loop. Build, measure, learn. And then you do it again. That is how you avoid building something nobody wants. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important question. As you think about your own big idea, before you write a line of code or design a single screen, ask yourself this. What is the single biggest, riskiest assumption my entire idea depends on? Because that is the one question your MVP needs to answer. So, what's yours?